Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am making probably the biggest makeup statement of my life in the last year. Let's just narrow it down to that. I am going to tell you about my favorite foundation. Now, if you know me at all, if you've watched any of my videos, if you follow me on social media in any respect, you will know how much I love to try new makeup and particularly new foundations. Foundations for me are like an ongoing project, and usually if I find a good foundation I'm like, yeah, that's really good, but then this one has come out so I'll buy this instead. So it's very unusual for me to repurchase a foundation, with the exception of probably Estee Lauder Double Wear, which is not what I'm talking about today, strangely enough. So what is this foundation? Look, this has been on the market for a long time. It is cheap as chips, and for me and for my skin type it is so perfect. And of course, who introduced me to this foundation? My sister, obviously. I always say to her, she's the one that should have the YouTube channel. Like, she's always on the ball when it comes to different products. So, and she was the one that actually was like, why don't you do a video on this foundation? I was like, oh my god, yeah. So yeah, she's the brains behind the whole operation. I just like talk about it. The foundation that I'm going to talk about today and put on my face and show you, demo essentially, is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. Oh my god, I love this so much, I can't even explain. It is amazing. It is, you know what, I'm not going to say anything, I'm going to let it speak for itself and I'm going to put it on my face. Okay, so I'm going to throw on my ears. My hair is driving me absolutely crazy today. I kind of like blow dried it awkwardly and now it won't sit where I wanted to sit, but anyway, it's fine. I'm going to throw my ears on, get my hair on my face, and let's put this bad boy on. So, as always with me, I put on my foundations with a beauty blender. Look at the state of that beauty blender. But what I will say to you is that I hate throwing things out, in the sense that, like, I hate just saying, oh yeah, I use it and then I'll throw it away and whatever else. So I actually cut the top off it and keep using it until I can't really use it anymore, because at least then you're constantly washing it and it works perfectly for me. So what I'm going to do is pop this on. As you know, I have a love-hate relationship with primers. I have not used a primer today, but I have actually put a mask on this morning and I've cleansed my face obviously, and I've put on some moisturizer. So to me, my skin is primed. So I'm going to pop this on. So let's just have a little look at the claims of this foundation, because I think that's quite important in terms of like you deciding whether or not you want to buy it. I should mention, like I said earlier on, it's cheap as chips. I think maybe is this €6 or €7. It's so cheap that I don't even think of the price, because I'm just like, well, I don't need to worry about the price of that. Whereas if I was going to buy my Estee Lauder Double Wear, I'd be like, oh, I kind of have to plan to buy that. Do you know what I mean? Like, as in like budget maybe a little bit for it, or kind of have it in my head like, can I get that next week? Probably can. My phone bill's coming in. I'll get it the week after. So yeah, tell me that's normal, because like, yeah, we're not all like, you know, really rich. So for this, it's less than a tenner, put it that way. And I always get mine in pennies, Primark, whatever. So for this, it is HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. It's mattifying and it has a second skin effect, and I can attest to both of those things. If you are a dewy finish person, I'm not going to say that this isn't for you, because I find, and I'll show you now when I try it on, I find that before I powder this down, it's not that matte. It gets very matte when I powder it, but that's what I like, that's my style. But I would try this. I would still try this. And it says it lasts up to 24 hours. I've not tried it for 24 hours. It lasts for 12, which for me, that's perfect. I'm quite happy with that. The other claims is that it's lightweight, it has a non-oily texture, feels like a second skin, it has high definition finish for camera ready skin, and dermatology tested, whatnot. Yeah, absolutely all of those things, and it just goes on like a dream. So I'm going to give it a bit of a shake. One thing I will tell you about this is it comes with a little dropper, and normally I'm more of like a pump kind of fan, but this doesn't bother me whatsoever. So what I do is before I open it, I just like you do with everything, squeeze the dropper so it takes up some of your foundation. I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to pop a little bit out on my beauty blender. I really do love this, it's brilliant, and for me it's like what I'm wearing anytime throughout the week. This is what I'm wearing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, I'll do this half. I'll do half my face with this and half with nothing on it, and you'll be able to see exactly what it's like. So again, for me, the way I apply my foundation is with my beauty blender, bouncing motions. The one thing I love about this as well, while it does oxidize ever so slightly, is that this particular colour and this is my non-tan colour. This is light beige. I'm a paley, don't forget, but this colour is perfect. Perfect for me. It perfectly matches my natural skin tone. So as I'm putting that on there, you're going to see not a massive change in colour between the two sides. It probably looks a little bit paler because it's just covering up, but it's not like it's mad orange or it's got a mad undertone of any kind of colour. And there, as you will see it, even when like I like to kind of blend it in around my eyes as well, I've gone away a little bit from using concealer under my eye on a regular basis, because I find that my eyes have just, something has happened to my eyes, that they've just become really dehydrated and they go really crepey. I hate that. When I go into the bathroom and work during the day and I look and I've crepey under eye, I'm like, oh my god, it's so annoying, like I look so tired, and I just, yeah, so no. So actually what I do is bring my foundation up under my eye and over on my eye as well, just to act as a little bit of an eyeshadow primer as well. Now, like I say, we're going to see as time goes on that this is going to darken ever so slightly. So just be mindful of that as well. But for me, this is my no tan, day-to-day go-to foundation. You've seen how effortless it is to blend. That's what I love so much about it. If you are spending tons of time blending your foundation in the morning and you just don't have the time, I would try this if I was you, because for me this is super quick and it's almost as if it melts into my skin. And I understand everyone has different foundations for their different skin types and different foundations that suit them, and that's totally cool. You all know I absolutely hated the Charlotte Tilbury foundation, and some people absolutely love it, and that's totally fine, and that's makeup and we're all different. For me, this is my absolute favourite and most perfect foundation. I have dry, not dry, but combination dry, dehydrated kind of skin, if that makes sense, and this suits me absolutely perfectly. So I'm going to zoom you in a little bit and let you see the difference between the two sides. This is going to give you an idea exactly of what it looks like up close. So for me, I just love it so much. So I have some dark circles under my eyes, I have like pigmentation, I have a little bit of a stupid spot that I've had for months that won't go away. Did you ever have that like kind of scar? It's so annoying. And you know, a couple of other little bits and pieces. What I love about this is it doesn't sit right into my fine lines, and it just gives me lovely coverage without having that cakey look, without being like, whoa, she is caked in makeup. That's what I absolutely love about it. You can even see it right now that it's kind of starting to change colour ever so slightly. And yeah, you can totally see it there actually. Oh my god guys, like that's actually a bit crazy. I've never done this before. So I'm going to go on ahead, I'm going to put it on the rest of my face, and then I'm going to put down some powder, and I'm going to powder one side and not powder the other. So that'll give you an idea as of kind of what the mattifying effect is like. Like it is fairly matte, don't get me wrong, but it can be mattified even further with a bit of powder, obviously. So let me continue on with everything and I'll come back and then we'll pop on some of the powder on one side and you'll see the difference between the two. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. That is the Catrice HD foundation all over my face. And you can even see, obviously, all the pigmentation that I showed you earlier on is gone. And this little spot or blemish here is a lot less visible. So like for me, that's all I need. That is all perfect. So what I'm going to do now is powder this side of my face. I don't know if it's just me and if it's just in the viewfinder, but I can actually see a little bit of like colour change already happening between the two sides. This looks a little bit warmer as time goes on, so that'll give you an idea of kind of the oxidization. It doesn't go crazy, it doesn't go like boom orange, but it does darken ever so slightly. And personally, I kind of like that, because when I put it on first, I'm always like, I'm so pale, and then after a little while I'm like, oh no, I'm okay. It's okay. So my go-to powder for during the week is my Rimmel Stay Matte powder, and look, this one is absolutely beaten. It's cracked, I've hit pan on it, but this is one of those powders that I repurchase constantly, and I find it very, very hard to veer away from it because it's just perfect. It's amazing. I do love my RCMA powder also, but you know, packaging situation, not going to go into it. This is fantastic. So again, as you've seen before, I use my powder puff with my Rimmel Stay Matte foundation. So what I'm going to do is powder down this part of my face, and you'll get to see the difference in the finish between the two. For me, I love my powder puff, simply because I feel like you're just exactly just doing that, like pressing down on top of your foundation instead of getting a brush and kind of like, I don't know, I always feel like with a brush with powder that you're potentially moving a little bit of the product around underneath. I don't know, maybe that's not realistic, but that's just how I feel, and I always love the finish that I get from my powder puff. Okay, so let's zoom in again and let you see the difference between the two sides. So here you can actually see the powder here has given a little bit better coverage on this side, which is interesting. I guess, yeah, maybe it might not suit people who like very, very dewy finishes, because like, to me, I know this is kind of a bit sticky and it needs to be set, and I just have this thing in my head where I need to powder my foundation down, and I always will, and that's not going to change. But like, I do think there's a little bit more of a glow off this side because I haven't powdered it, and this is super matte, like very dry, very matte. One thing I definitely do when I powder down my face, put on all my products, is I love a spritz of setting spray or something like that, just to let all the powders kind of melt in together and get a lovely finish. So that is definitely something that I do as well. So that's it. So that's the side with the powder, and that is the side without the powder. But in terms of looking at like the full picture, the coverage is fabulous, and I just love how it looks on my skin. So again, what I always like to do when I'm reviewing foundations or talking about foundations in any way is to go away to put all the other products on top of the foundation and let you know what that looks like, because sometimes foundations can go down and they can look great, and then you go and put on like your blush, your highlighter, and you're finding that, like, I don't know, things just aren't looking well or whatnot. I find with this foundation it always looks really, really well, but I want to show you that, and I will give myself a spritz of setting spray as well, so just so you can see the finish of that as well. So I will come back to you, a lot more made up actually. Okay guys, I am back, full face on, foundation is on, and all my products are layered on top of that. So as you'll see, I have just a little bit of blush, a little bit of highlighter. I just adore the highlight from the Michelle Fox palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that's what I have on there now. So that's how the foundation looks. Let me zoom in and give you a little bit of a close-up. So again, this has been on my face now for probably 20 minutes while I've kind of done the rest of my makeup. So that is how it is looking, and personally for me, I love it and I think it's perfect. And again, you can see this is my natural colour, and I just think it's a really good match. I don't know, let me know what you think down below. Give me any of your thoughts on it. So what I'm gonna do now, like I promised I would, is just spritz it a little bit with some Fix Plus, and I always find that that helps it become a little bit more glowy. Oh, but it's so refreshing. So I'm just letting that dry off, and that is that. So there we are, that is the finished look with the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation, my absolute favourite foundation. And you know me, I don't say that lightly, I've tried a lot of them, and this is my absolute favourite. So guys, I really, really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know, have you tried this? Has it worked for you? Is it something that you're like, oh my god, no, you're crazy? Or yeah, I absolutely love it? Please, please, please let me know down below in the comments. If you could also just give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, of course. Or give it a thumbs down if you don't enjoy it, because, you know, that's always feedback as well. That really helps me, because that tells YouTube that you like my video, obviously, but it means that it's popular and it'll bump it up in the views if you put up a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to also subscribe so you can get all of my new video updates. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.